Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. I heard that Ronnie, not Vicky, Ronnie is supposed to be doing a limited run, right? Coming on there for a little bit, stir some trouble, and she's piecing out. I gotta tell you something, Frank. I'm gonna tell you something right now. I don't care how many people you gotta sit there and fire, staffers, assistants, I don't give a shit. You need to find a way to make Ronnie a permanent character. Okay, that's what I need from you, Frank V. I need you to find a. I don't care how many budget cuts, whatever you got to do, you get this shit done. Okay, because let me tell you something. I am here for Ronnie checking Tracy's stink ass entitled attitude. Tracy goes off like the usual 12-year-old entitled little brat that she is. I'm contesting the will. I don't think this is right. Da 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 da. Everyone's there just looking at her like, hey, this is typical usual Tuesday. She's all like, he's getting this house off my dead body. Ronnie's like, yeah, that seems like that could be arranged. And people smile like, I don't think y'all know who she is. Okay, now Jason asks what caused the rift between you two, and it was pretty basic. She got out the foster care system. They both got out. She wanted to sit there and try to, live with Monica. Monica was with Jeff Weber. Long story short, I guess she acted like she forgot where she came from. And was just like, yeah, I know we like sisters and everything like that, but yeah, I got a good thing going on here, and I don't need you effing it up. That's her version, just FYI. Now, this is something that they're doing in both General Hospital and Days of Our Lives. Now, granted, the young adults in this show is better than the acting the young adults in Days of Our Lives, and the acting is way better than one person that should not be named. But it always seems like when the episode is good, they shift to this stupid puppy love crap with these teens, and I'm just like, why are we doing this for? I don't think that people understand that when you, or for me, when I tune in for a soap opera, I don't tune in for Gio and Sophia and Tate and, okay, the rest of them weren't that bad. But, like, there's a whole story with them that I'm going to get to in a second. But I need to kind of skip it to get to the good part, right? Now, eventually, Annie gets this warrant. And she comes in with Chase, and well, it's pretty much, it's the usual chaos that goes on in the court meetings, right? And Brooklyn did come down with some letters that Monica had that they were exchanging back and forth, right? Now, there's a knock on the door. Michael gets it. Michael sees Chase, Anna, and about like three other cops there. And Michael's like, come on, man, you live here. You don't need to be like knocking on the door. Michael, does this look like a social call? Like, you not sit there and see the boys in blue in the background just kind of waiting to sit there and walk on in? So, Anna pretty much tells them what's going on. And it's like, hey, listen, we're going to be sitting at this person's house. So, I don't know if she went to Tracy, but Veronica was like, yeah, I'm not on this place. Tells her who she is. And it gets all snooty at some point when she says, officer, I'm commissioner. Officer, listen. Like, honestly, tell you, I think it just would have took that attitude just because. Um, but she's like, hey, listen, before anybody goes anywhere, I want to sit there and see his warrant. So she's taking her time, she's reading it. Tracy's sitting there over in the corner making jokes. Oh, Alexis is like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Even though what's her name? Tracy was like, you want to do something here? Like, she's like, I'm not your lawyer. I'm like, yo, that's a quick money right there. Like, you might want to kind of get on this right now. But she's like, nah. And plus, she had to do something else anyway, so she leaves. But anyway, she's reading through this thing, reading through this warrant. Anna's getting impatient. And Anna's like, all right, listen, everything seems like it's standing in order. And she's like, yeah, it's not really in order. And long story short, for some odd reason, they got the wrong address, right? I'm like, Anna, did you even sit there and check this warrant before you decide to just walk on in with the boys in blue and start acting like a bunch of goddamn stormtroopers? I mean, she would have looked at it, and Ronnie has to then break it down to her. Ronnie was like, yo, this address is 66 something something. And the warrant here is for 65. So you won't be searching anything here today, but I mean, you can go next door if you want. Damn near everybody in that room seemed like they were impressed. Even Tracy was a little bit impressed. I mean, she didn't, her look on her face kind of gave it away, but she didn't show it. But like, hey, listen, whatever you guys sit there and do, make sure you don't find shit. You better do it. Alexis called Sonny and Carly together at Bobby's. They go down there, and long story short, Alexa's like, hey, listen, they got a warrant for the house. They searching for a weapon or whatever. They seem like they're closing on Michael. Now, before that happens, um, remember yesterday? Well, I pretty much kind of predicted it. So, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. But Britt, because Carly was like, hey, listen, we need this rent, we need it now, whatever. And Britt was like, hey, listen, Jason said he was going to sit there and cover it, so you can talk to Jason about it. I said what I said, and I still stand by it. Girl, you out of pocket. Your little girl would not sit there and be here if it wasn't for Britt. And so Britt made this like little subtle nod to Jocelyn, like, hey, listen, you better sit there and check your mom. Because otherwise, I'm about to sit there and start telling. All the secrets are going to come out. And Jocelyn was like, you're out of line. And she pretty much basically says, like, yo, listen, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. So we got to sit there and make sure, remember to, pay our debt to you. And she's like, yeah, of course. I was like, of course what? Because you acting like you forgot. And see, here's my whole thing. Like, first of all, again, it's foul as fuck. Okay, I'm not even gonna sit there and try to sugarcoat it. Girl, you know you wrong for that. And when Britt leaves, Jocelyn's like, yo, I thought you and her were like cool after, a while, whatever. Now she explains her reasons of why she still doesn't like Britt. And it has a lot to do with the fact that Jason helped Britt and Grease get back her mother. In the process, got nabbed by the FBI. And he wouldn't have got nabbed if it wasn't for helping Britt. And let's just be very clear. If they wanted to get him, they would have found the way to get him. Okay? John seemed like he was very determined to sit there and get Jason to flip on Sonny, to get Sonny, even if it had to sit there and take down Carly to do it. So don't sit there and think like some little trick to Grease or non-trick to Grease we're going to sit there and stop this man from getting what he wanted. But she talks about that and going away for years. Let's just cut straight to the heart of it. Carly has always been a selfish, self-centered person, and the fact that it's like she always wants to be the only person, the only woman that's important in Jason's life. She did it with Courtney. She did it with Sam. She's doing the same shit with Britt, and it's just obnoxious as hell. Like, it really is. You could be sitting there dating, you could be married to Sonny, and yet you still want to sit there and have Jason all for yourself. Like, that's some weird shit right there. So, at some point, Jocelyn leaves and she tracks down Britt, like, yeah, not so subtle, whatever, right? Long story short, at this point, Britt's like, yeah, so I'm tired of living that little hole in the wall upstairs above Bobby's or whatever. You want to sit there and get me a nice little cushy place in the Metro Court on your dime. That's what you're going to do. I was like, wow, okay. And I was like, and the hits just keep on coming with Britt. Like, I've seen from other people even online when I went to Twitter. Oh, and by the way, just on a side note, Greg Vaughn is going to be on the gate, so that happened. The people are just getting frustrated with Britt and her attitude. Now, while Portia is feeling lightheaded and Liz is sitting there talking about maybe you're pregnant and kind of freaking her out because she was sitting there thinking about when she was pretty much screwing both men and she was like, I'm lightheaded, kind of dizzy. I could have been because I didn't eat, or it could be because she's pregnant. You got Isaiah sitting there checking Curtis, right? And this is a very interesting scene because he pretty much says, like, yo, listen, I'm pretty much sitting there saying, I'm tired of you disrespecting Portia in a way. You know, um, you want to sit there and settle stuff with Drew. Okay, fine. You want to sit there and do what you got to do to Drew, fine, but you're not going to do that here. Okay? Because you're using your weight to, the nurse is not going to sit there and say anything to you because, you're your wife. And she don't need that type of blowback. The hospital don't need that type of blowback. So you out of line and you out of pocket. Now, I find it very ironic that he's sitting there talking about, well, you don't need to be disrespecting, Portia and da 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 da, trying to stick up for her honor, and you're literally sitting there banging his wife behind his back. Like, how you gonna sit there and come at this man with an attitude, and you screwing his wife? Like what? Like, bro, you trying to come across like you morally superior, and you deceitful as shit. But he did have a point about the fact that, like, if it was anybody else that wants to sit there and try to come and see Drew, the nurses would have stopped them. The nurses wouldn't even have sat there and been like, oh, well, he's in room so and so and so. Because they know that you and Drew have a history with each other and it's not good. So he was on point with that. And then Britt comes in there and breaks it up and pretty much backs what Isaiah says. He's a high profile client. You go in there, something happens that sets his recovery back, it's going to look bad in the hospital. Now, Isaiah goes and tells Portia of what he did, like he won some sort of gold star medal or whatever. And Portia was like, I wish you didn't do that. You need to sit there and stay as far away from him as you can. And it's not like I don't, so much don't want him knowing, he's going to figure out sooner or later, but I don't want Trina knowing. Bro, the longer you lie to her about that, the worse it's going to be. And he did realize that he overstepped. Even if his heart was in the right place, he did overstep, right? And that's the thing. It's one of those situations you could be right and wrong at the same time. I believe. Um, and then she takes a pregnancy test, and it comes out that she's pregnant. And Curtis walks in there. He has this look on his face. Curtis was sitting there talking to Liz, and Liz is like, "You need to sit there and kind of stay out of it." And Curtis was like, "Yeah, I was coming this close to sit there and ending it. Like I would have, I would have paid money to sit there and see those two go at it. I really would have." Um, I do think that Curtis would have whooped that ass though. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Isaiah would have probably handled himself a little bit, being in those rough areas of, I don't know where he actually was, some sort of third world country. But like the point is, I'm not saying the dude can't handle himself, but I've seen Curtis sit there and kick ass and take names. I don't see Isaiah winning that. Oh yeah, like I said, Portia's pregnant. Yep, I feel like that's about it. I feel like that is the general gist of the episode. Now, if I'm missing anything, let me know in the comment section below. I want to thank you for watching. Tomorrow, I'll be doing a live stream, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about everything from today, all the soaps, including this episode, obviously. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.